Well, Tom, I know. I can relate to that. Every morning, it gets tougher and tougher every morning for me, but I don't think we want to get into that. But nice to have you. Tom, we're going to be talking about the SWL Fest here in just a little bit. But right now, for Steve Cole, here's about a minute 40 of the man Norm N. Knight when he was in town a couple of weeks ago.
There have been a lot of songs in rock and roll that have been recorded, and there are songs that have a signature. It's like Don and Juan, there's a little hook in the song that people remember. And I was thinking, Chris Quinn is a very, very talented guy. He could probably do that, but sometimes put together a whole thing with all the hooks. You know what I mean? Just a long tape of all the hooks of that, hello, baby, all the other things in the songs that we all, that made the song. Because, for example, the hello, baby thing, like my friend, I watch in the morning sometimes, my good friend Don Imus on MSNBC, a lot of times there's a breaker. Hello, baby. And he goes to Imus in the morning. I mean, still on national television. And those kinds of things help perpetuate and keep the thing alive. You never even realize in the studio sometimes when you do something, it could be an afterthought, it could be something that it just happens that way, and yet people remember the song because of that one little thing.
Well, you got those, and it's not lyrics, but those first couple of notes of Hang On Sloopy. You hear those, and Stop in the Name of Love. You only have to hear about 3 seconds of that sound, and you know. Yeah, Ted, get on that, will you, please?
I've already got stuff prepared. 600 song hooks all put together.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. We play it once in a while with what we call our music concentrates.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't given Norm a copy of this yet.
That'd be great.
Well, you know what, guys? It's about 18 minutes before noon. I think we need to pause, and we'll be right back, continuing our remembrance of the day the music died, broadcasting live from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum here in downtown Cleveland on Star 1330 WELW.
Thank you for supporting Cybershortwave and Old Time Radio. Don't forget to support other Live 365 stations. Big Steve Cole, Jennifer, and Voice of Savage Henry.
When I see you dancing to the mambo, I feel like romancing to the mambo. Every time you jump and shout, ooh, my eyes pop out. How I love to watch you do the mambo. You shake like a rattlesnake, and you make my head go loop, 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 loop. Well, baby, won't you teach me how to mambo? You look keen and peachy doing the mambo. Every time you shake your hips and do those crazy dips, you should get me flipping for the mambo. You shake like a rattlesnake, and you make my heart go loop, 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 loop. Down in Puerto Rico and up and a too. This here is the dance that the people do. All you got to do is to get your feet.
Well, it's just Memphis boogie with a Latin beat.
Ooh, you look so fantastic when you mambo. You're just like elastic when you mambo. Baby, you could win a prize. Oh, don't you realize all the fellas idolize your mambo? You shake like a rattlesnake, and you make my head go loop, 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 loop.
Okay, the Robins on Cyber Shortwave. Dave, what text-speech program are you using, says Steve Evanchuk. I'll let you know here in a minute. I'll give you the URL. I think it's AT&T, the AT&T speech website, but we'll give you that exact URL in a little bit. Hello to all my Cyber Shortwave cheerleaders. This is Cyber Shortwave Live. I'm Dave Kirby at 1721 on the 2nd of March. March 2nd, 2003. Well, we're just 14 days, 14 hours, and 42 minutes from the event of the year, March 7th and 8th. What? It's the convention. The convention of the SWL Fest. It's the largest gathering of listeners to the radio spectrum. Long wave, medium wave, shortwave, broadcast, utilities, pirates, UHF, VHF, FM, scanners, television, and satellites in the United States and perhaps the world. About 200 people from Europe, Asia, North America, and South America attend each year. It's a nice way to break out the doldrums from the Northern Hemisphere winter. Broadcaster representatives, clubs, vendors also attend. And you can find out more about the Winter SWL Fest at swlfest.com. http://swlfest.com. Did I say 14 days? Excuse me, 4 days. Okay, if I said 14, I apologize. It's 4 days, 14 hours, and 41 minutes, and 32 seconds, to be exact, according to Tom's site, swlfest.com. It's in Culpsville, Pennsylvania, about 30 minutes driving time north of Philadelphia. Lots of stuff. Find out about, the schedule of forms and everything. There's a registration form that you can download. I don't know if it's too late for that or not, but you can always. They usually take walk-ins, and certainly. Anyone in the know that's going already has their reservations. So check it out. There's some little-known forms that we're going to be talking about in just a little bit, folks, so stay tuned. In fact, we're going to do that right after this song. 2 weeks from today, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We won't be on next week, but we'll be back in 2 weeks on the 16th of March on our annual St. Patrick's Day show. Which is on the 17th. So we'll be partying like crazy, partying like an Irish person. With a name like Kirby, we plan to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in 2 weeks on the 16th.
I thought of a great idea, a great financial investment. A couple of pickup trucks, rig the backs with swivel seats with harnesses, a couple of deep-sea fishing rods. Using chihuahuas as bait, we drive around the streets trolling for pit bulls. You heard the story about the redneck goes into a bar with his pit bull. Said, about $500 my dog can beat any dog that you guys have got. So all the other guys rush out, come back with their money and their dogs. They got German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, boxers. One by one the pit bull takes them on. One by one it destroys them, leaves them whimpering messes in the middle of the barroom floor. And the redneck is making money hand over fist, and an Irish guy comes in. Said, I'll bet you $5,000 my dog can beat your pit bull. And the redneck looks down at the Irish guy's dog. It's a little brown, ugly dog with bow legs. He says, ha, $5,000? You got a bet. They lay their money in the bar. The two dogs go at it in the middle of the floor. Within 5 seconds, the Irish guy's dog has ripped the pit bull limb from limb. The redneck pays over the money to the Irish guy, and he says, that's a hell of a dog you got there. What is it? And the Irish guy said, well, before I cut his tail off and gave him a nose job, it was an alligator. This is a song teaching you how the yodel was born. A lot of people think that yodeling is a Swiss invention. A couple of old mountaineers off in the Alps insulting each other. And your old lady too. And it's not. Yodeling is an American invention, and it came about when a cowboy in a rodeo had a mishap on horseback one day. And if any of you guys out there have ever pedaled a bicycle uphill only to have the chain slip off, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because you probably yodeled very briefly yourselves. This song is called How the Yodel Was Born. A little bit of western swing with Sandy on the fiddle, Fergus on the squeeze box, or the tit nipper as he calls it, and old Brad here on the bass. Okay. When you hear a cowboy yodeling his song of open range, your heart leaps up to hear his stirring tale. But did you ever wonder at the end of his refrain why his voice sleeps in a mournful wail? The story as was told to me was handed down through history of a singing cowboy brave enough to try to ride the meanest old cayuse that bucked him off right at the chute and left him spinning way up in the sky. The bronco jumped up the cowboy came down. They met at the old saddle horn. It made a deep impression, you could say it changed his life. That's how the yodel was born. I know what you're saying to yourselves. They think it higher and faster? You want me to do it even higher and faster? Well, let's see.
CQ, calling CQDX. Calling CQ, hello, CQDX. This is W2XQ. Oh, wait a minute, this is the Internet. Hello, this is Tom Sundstrom. You're listening to Cybershortwave with Dave Kirby, N1DK, the best in Internet radio.
Folks, with the Winter SWL Fest being held in Culpsville on March 7th and 8th this year, Steve Cole announces a new program of supplemental events that have been planned by the Scanner Scum as an adjunct to the great events at the Winter SWL Fest this year. They've begun to put together a series of field trips and external events. Outside transportation is being provided by the Amish Carriage and Buckboard Company at very cheap rates. If you would want to use motor transportation instead, we have also hired a group of local farmers who want to exercise their tractors during the cold season.
Well, being there's no other place around the place, I reckon this must be the place, I reckon.
Here are the events planned so far. Friday at 8 a.m., building a dirt-cheap curtain antenna. The location will be the cemetery of the Mennonite Church on the other side of the PA Turnpike. Tom Sundstrom, Ralph Brandy, and Rich Cuff, with volunteers, show you how to build a 100-meter by 72-meter high suspended multi-wire antenna using surplus old Philadelphia street lampposts welded together as the frame and 28 miles of tangled yellow wire donated by George Zeller as the rigging.
This is going to be a tough job.
Friday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., the Droll Muzak is replaced in the main hallway, lobby, and restraint. No more classical music on the PA during our stay, as Dan Ferguson plays Carolina Beach music mixed with Pete Costello's Ian and Sylvia records.
Are you listening?
Friday at 11 a.m., proving the antenna works. The location, the Curtain Antenna. A pirate broadcaster, personally selected by Andy Yoder, connects a 40-watt transmitter and immediately gets a QSL request from Beijing. That is, if our friend Li Ching-pan has remembered to send the bogus email on time.
Shortwave?
No, permanent.
Friday at 12 noon, optional lunch. You can eat if you want to, or join the Acme demolition crew we've hired to take down the antenna for a liquid lunch.
Oh, just in time for lunch.
Friday at 1:30 p.m. Height does make a difference. The location at the Curtain Antenna. Skip Airy, with a handy all-band scanner and a bullhorn, climbs the antenna to prove the height of your location makes a big difference in what you can receive.
I can see if I want anything done around here, I gotta do it myself.
Friday at 1:37 p.m., the antenna is taken down. The location at the Curtain Antenna. A slightly inebriated demolition crew with a partially deaf foreman pulls the locking pins and collapses the antenna when they mistakenly hear, "Now go pull the pins," when Skip was really saying, "Wow, guess what I pulled in?"
Don't you give me none of your back talk.
Friday at 8 p.m., Alan Wiener Worldwide. The location, the big top tent next to the Smiley Barn. To accommodate the overflow crowds and complaints from Best Western headquarters in Charlotte that the hotel standards were being compromised by the program content, we've moved the show outside the hotel this year.
Here I am.